Hey, what's going on? My name is Brad Weinman, and I'm coming to you from my home office here in Los Angeles. And first off, I want you to know that I'm a real person. All my contact info is right below this video. A little bit about me: I've been making a full-time living from home since 1993. And I've been working online as my only source of income for the past 19 years now. So I've pretty much seen it all, bought it all, and tried it all when it comes to making money from home. Everything from network marketing, affiliate marketing, big ticket programs to e-commerce, drop shipping, HYPs, direct mail, Forex robots, binary options trading, rev share programs, CPA marketing, and the list goes on and on. But for the past 15 years, I've been in the investment space showing entrepreneurs and everyday people how to leverage a portion of their active income from their job or business into multiple streams of passive income. And let me qualify what I mean by passive income, because I'm not talking about joining some business opportunity where you have to recruit and sell stuff to people to actually make any money. There's nothing passive about that. The kind of passive income I'm referring to comes from leveraging money as a tool to make more money. Because if you want to increase your wealth and achieve true financial freedom, where you've got more cash flow coming in passively than your ongoing monthly expenses, then you've got to be able to divorce your time from what you earn. But if you never step outside your daily routine of working a job, or even if you're self-employed, the problem is you're still trading your time for money, just like I was back when I was a freelance artist. This is one of my favorite quotes from Warren Buffett. He says that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Well, in this video, you're going to learn how to do just that. How to make money in your sleep using a fully automated software that myself and some of my close 6- and 7-figure earning friends are using right now to passively grow our money by an average of 10 to 50% plus per month on complete autopilot. I'm talking about money that just shows up without you having to lift a finger or do any work at all. And I know that may sound like just a bunch of hype or BS because, let's be honest, there's a lot of crap out there on the internet. I see it every day, you see it every day, but I can guarantee you that everything you're about to see is 100% real and actually works for everyone that uses it. In fact, by the time you finish watching this video, you're going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that not only is it possible to make double-digit monthly returns on your money passively, but you're going to see verifiable proof of how people just like you and I are doing it consistently. Now, here's the thing. If you're anything like me, you've got your eggs in more than one basket. So if you're looking to add an extra source of automated income to what you're currently doing, then I want you to turn off all distractions and pay close attention to the rest of this video, and then I will see you on the other side.
We want to thank you guys for hopping on tonight. I understand time is the most valuable asset that there is, and let me tell you guys, this is going to be one of the best investments of your time. For me personally, this has turned into a 6-figure income for me within 2 months. Guys, so please pay attention. There's only 2 things I'm going to ask you tonight on the call. Number 1, keep an open mind. A closed mind is the most expensive thing you can own. I know there have been a lot of opportunities I missed out in my past because I had a closed mind. I was not open to opportunities. So guys, really pay attention tonight. It's 2019. We're living in the digital age. Literally, we have people creating 6- and 7-figure incomes from behind laptops and cell phones. I'm 25 years old and I'm retired from having to work. This is all I do. I literally get to do what I love to do full time, and that's what we want to help you do as well. So number 2, the second thing I'm going to ask you guys is please eliminate all distractions, cell phones, turn them off, take the pizza, put it away, take the glass of wine, put it in the fridge, put it away for a little bit. We're not going to take up too much of your time, but guys, this is very, very important. So we want to have you dialed in. So tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about how we're hacking the markets. And our speaker, is going to be a guy who's done over $50 million in sales revenue. He scaled organizations to the tens of thousands and literally went from making $9 an hour to $300,000 a year in 10 months at 20 years old. I was not doing anything like that at 20 years old. I could barely tie my shoes at 20 years old. Let me show you who he shared the stage with, okay? You might recognize some of these people: Darren Hardy, Gary Vaynerchuk, Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Sean Stevenson, Harvey McKay, Chris and Heidi Powell. Guys, so tonight our speaker is going to be my friend Derek Alexander. He's absolute legend, and I want you guys to listen in to what he has to say. He can help you do what you want to do full time. He is my mentor and a great friend. So without further ado, guys, I want to bring on the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Derek Alexander. What's up, Derek?
What is going on, Mike? That is amazing. Great job. You know, before we do this, actually, I'm going to say something really quickly. A lot of you are on this call and you're going, okay, I don't know exactly why I'm on. I'm trying to figure out more about what's going on. My friend invited me to this. I'm in a Facebook group. I see people are making money. Some people are winning. There's something happening. And your curiosity is sparked. But by the end of this call, you're going to know three things. You're going to know if this works, why it can work, and how specifically it can work for you. So you're going to know if it works, you'll know why it's working, and you're going to know how this can work exactly for you. That's our commitment for you. That's our intention behind this. But I want to talk about the mission that we have behind what market is. I'm going to tell you a brief synopsis on this, and it's a little story that kind of gets you to understand why we created what we created and what our intention is. And I think some of you on here are really going to be able to relate to this. So when I was 19 years old, I was a Division I athlete, University of Hawaii, and I was flat broke. I was trying to figure out how I can make some money to pay down my student loans, how to cover some of the food I was trying to eat out with my friends that were going to nicer restaurants that didn't have as much debt as I did. And I was trying to figure out how I could make some money part-time while I was working at the university of my school. So at the time, I had no way of really making too much money other than my loans that were coming in that I was using to pay for just life and, you know, normal things that you'd go through when you're living, right? So I found out what the most high paying job was at my university, and it was working at a call center. So I basically thought, hey, they pay $9 an hour. I could work at a call center. If it pays the most, I'll go there. So I show up, and basically told me what I needed to do was essentially ask alumni of my university to give a gift or a donation to the school. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. For those of you that have been to college already, that have gone through that experience, most of you probably had to spend some money for your education. Imagine a 19-year-old kid calling you and saying, hey, I know you spent X amount of money on your education, but how would it feel if you wanted to give a little bit more to the school? You would probably hang up that phone faster than you could imagine. So very quickly at 19, I was learning no, F off, screw you, don't call me back, I don't want to hear it. Now, while that may sound really bad, what happened through that rejection day in, day out was it kind of taught me how to have conversations with people, how to feel what it's like for people to just speak poorly of you and say no to your face. And what I realized was if I could understand what people were looking for and what people wanted, it might be able to help empower their lives for the better. So within 6 months at 19, I was fortunate enough to raise more money for the call center than anyone else ever had in the university. People that had worked on their masters for 8 years weren't able to do that. So at the time I thought, well, I'm getting paid $9 an hour. If I'm raising the school this money, I probably should deserve a raise. So I go in, I talk to my boss, and I sit down with him. I go, look, I've been busting my butt nonstop for $9 an hour, and I'm raising all this money for the school. So would it be possible for me to get some type of raise because of all the performance that I put in? And he sat there quiet and he said, you know what, Derek, you're 19, but you're a hustler. You like to grind. You're trying to make something of yourself. I want you to work your face off the next 30 days. Come back here and we'll have that conversation again, and we'll circle back. So the next 30 days, I worked harder than I ever had my entire life. I was making so much money for the school, having people donate thousands. I literally have people donate $1,000 on a call, crushing it, going, oh my gosh, this is going to be the month I show my boss what I'm capable of. And on the 30th day, after I go finish my entire work shift, I'm walking out, and my boss goes, Derek, come to my office and take a seat. So I sit down, and he hands me an envelope, and he said, I want you to know how much I think you've earned this. You deserve this right here, and congratulations. So I'm euphoric. I don't open it. I get on my longboard, and I instead take my longboard all the way back to my apartment. And I said, okay, I'm going to open it inside. But on that ride back, I'm thinking about all the things I'll be able to do with this pay raise. I'll be able to start paying off my loans. I'll be able to eat out at more expensive restaurants. I'll be able to get new clothes, just all the things I wanted to do. So I go into my apartment, I go into my room, I lock the door, I sit down, and I open the envelope, and I got my raise. $9.80. So in all that time working, making the school all this money, I got an 80-cent raise. Now I want you to do something for me. If you think you're worth $9.80, say no. Sorry, if you think you are not worth $9.80 in the chat, I just want you to say no way. Just give me a no way if you do not think you're worth $9.80. But here's the big thing of why I say this, guys, because when I opened that envelope at 19 years old, it was the most depressing moment of my entire life, and I'm gonna explain why. My whole life up to that point, I thought life was going to work itself out. I thought that it was just going to happen. That if I went to school, got a degree, got good grades, then got a great job, I was just going to end up making money and it was going to figure itself out. And when I opened that envelope and I read $9.80, I had a turning point in my life and I realized, oh my God, it's not going to just work itself out. I have to literally figure something out. But here's the biggest problem. I did not have a vehicle. I had no vehicle. And I don't care if you have skills, ambition, passion, drive, work ethic. If you have no vehicle, you can't create any of the life that you want to live. But what I realized was I was in a position as well, beyond my understanding, where the system was actually working against me. I'm going to share with you guys an image that I think really represents what a lot of us, a lot of millennials as well, are going through in our lives about a system that doesn't always make sense. I want you to look at this image really quickly, guys. Here you have a representation of the governments, all right? And you have the banking system. And they're over here feasting, and the imagery is that they're eating money, right? They're getting all this money. You got the Federal Reserve that aren't even backed by the gold standard. You got all this stuff happening, and literally you got inflation going up like crazy. And then there's you just sitting there being told that you need to mathematically equate how much you're going to make for the year working for someone else and call that a life, right? And that's not a life, guys. That's really not what it's about. And at that 19-year-old age, I realized if I don't find a vehicle, I'm going to be the one sitting there with no clothes, trying to eat, and never being able to have enough food. And it's just not going to work out in my favor. But through different friends, through different connections, I've heard about people that were able to leverage unique vehicles to transform their lives. One of which is an industry called, whoops, let me click this, Forex. Now, some of you see this and go, I know about Forex, I've heard about Forex. Forex is crazy, it's scary. I am terrified of Forex. Well, guys, guess what? I knew nothing about Forex either before I got involved in this whole industry, in this whole space. But when you think about it, Forex actually is a very simple concept. If you're in the United States and you're on the US dollar, and then you travel, let's say Europe, and you switch to Euro USD, the price difference in the value of the dollar to the euro, in the market, you actually could earn income on that small price difference. Well, without you realizing it, it is a $5.3 trillion market. Now, I'm going to give you an understanding of how big the number trillion is. If I started counting right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, how long do you think it would take for me to reach $1 million? I want you guys to comment in the comments, give me an idea of how long you think it would take, just put a number out of how long you think it would take for me to reach $1 million if I just started counting. So in the comments, I want to see some of your ideas. What do you guys think it's going to be? Some of the numbers. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what some of you guys think. Okay. All right. Here's the real answer. If I wanted to count to $1 million right now, it would take 12 days. Okay. Now, that seems like kind of a long time, but not crazy long. Here's the crazy part. If I wanted to count to $1 billion, it would take 32 years. If I wanted to count to $1 trillion, it would take over 10,000 years. And this market is a 5.3 trillion a day market operating 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now, do you think that if you had the right connections, the right understanding, the right influence, the right people, the right education, you might be able to take advantage of that market? And even if you get a tiny sliver of that 5.3 trillion, you're probably going to be in a really good position. But here's the problem with Forex, and it's the same problem that I saw when I looked at it, that so many other people see, is that there is a massive learning curve to Forex. It is time draining. It takes so much time to study. You will be in positions where because you're new, you could blow your entire account. You could be running on a fake account, but then it doesn't feel real until you run it on an actual account, so you're terrified. And now that you're running on an actual account, you're scared, you're nervous, you're going from emotion, not logic. It's at crazy times of the day. So sometimes you could wake up at 4 a.m. to try and get on different sessions. It's just nonstop. And then you're constantly having to deal with this fear of loss. Should you get back into the market even though you took a loss? Should you wait? Should you be patient? There's so much emotion. You give it affect relationships. And because you're always having to be flawed as humans, you can make human errors. And so it is a headache to master Forex. And that's why many people don't. But I want to ask you a question. And I want you to really ponder on this question. What if it was possible for you to take advantage of the entire Forex market without having to learn to trade in the markets themselves? So what if you could take advantage of this Forex market without learning how to trade in the markets themselves? Imagine what that could be for you in your life. So you might be wondering, well, how could I go do that? Well, I want to tell you a story about how we met someone that changed our lives. About 8 months ago, my buddy Adam Winnig reached out to me and said, Derek, I met this guy playing around a golf who is a literal genius. I'm like, all right, cool. There's a lot of smart people in the world. You no, you don't get it though. Not only is he a genius, but he has an idea that we could capitalize on that could literally help so many people get out of their financial situation at the beginning of this call to change where they're at for the better. So I'm pumped. I'm like, okay, it sounds cool, but who is the guy? He's like, his name's David Mayer. He is a Forex trader, but his background is wild. And before I tell you too much about it, I want you just to trust me and meet him and link up and go talk to this guy. So I go to Panera. I drive up. I drive down. I'm in Florida. I drive south to like the Palm Beach area, and I go meet up with this guy named Dave in Panera. And I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical. I was like, I don't really know who this guy is, what he's all about. You know, I just know he's really smart, and I guess he makes a lot of money. So when I sit down with Dave and I have a conversation with him, I start to realize what this guy is actually capable of and what he's achieved. So just to give you an understanding, not only does Dave have one of the highest IQs in the world, scoring over 180 on his IQ test, he has taken 21 years applying his theories, his different indicators, and his analysis in the markets and traded billions at the second largest hedge fund in New York. So this is a Wall Street skilled trader. He then also was in a position where he was managing the entire New York State pension prison fund, the entire thing. And what he did is he came up with a concept, an idea. And the whole concept originated around the idea that he was trading all of this money, and yet the hedge fund he was working for were getting these massive 300% returns, 250% returns, right? These crazy returns. Yet the clients were only getting 10% returns, 12% returns. And if you remember back to that original image I had, right? Like the fat people eating, right? The governments, the banks, so forth. You have these people in positions of so much power getting so big, taking massive percents that they're compounding through Dave's efforts, yet the very clients that gave the money in the first place for them to do that are only getting a little bit. So he had this concept and this idea that he thought he might be able to capitalize on, that with the right people to share the message could empower a lot of people. So the whole concept was taking 21 years of Dave's trading experience plus leveraging artificial intelligence, which is the wave in 2019. Artificial intelligence is going everywhere through how we handle so many different things on a day-to-day basis. It's becoming more and more evident that leveraging the power of computer systems and artificial intelligence is more and more common as we see it on a normal day-to-day basis, because technology is rapidly growing. So we thought, what if I could take all of my skills and all of my indicators and analysis and concepts in my brain, and I could have some of the top programmers in the world who've coded programs in the Forex industry for over 16 years and help me design a software that leverages my algorithms through blending artificial intelligence. And then what if we could hook those people up not only to this software that they could license in their own accounts, but then have a VIP Telegram service where on a week-to-week basis, they can get their handheld through the crazy busy streets of the Forex markets, and on a week-to-week basis, make it through the other side, not only alive, but in profit. And that's when we came up with this idea called Benjamin. So Benjamin is a software unlike anything we have ever seen before. It literally can allow you to capitalize on all the benefits of the market without nearly as much risk as some people would have making the decision to learn how to trade on their own. Now, you can trade on your own if you want to. We recommend if you want to become educated on trading, you absolutely should. But personally, for myself, I don't really have a huge interest in learning how to trade. There's other things I'd like to spend my time doing. I don't really like looking at charts. I was never great at math as a kid, and I just don't really want to spend a lot of time learning how to trade. But if I can leverage artificial intelligence and I can leverage a technology to do that for me, and I can help other people use that same platform and that same software, that could help people find a vehicle. That could help people have hope. That could put people in a position where they're not looking at their life going, I thought it was going to work itself out. They decided to take a step, take courage, and choose to take control of their own financial situation. Now, what you're probably asking after hearing about this so far is, how does this actually work? And I want to bring on my buddy Cameron Kirk. Cameron Kirk loves freedom, straight up. I have known this guy for about 7 years. He's a full-time entrepreneur. He is a very proficient trader as well in the crypto space and also in the Forex space. He understands this game. He's been using the software and in-depth training people, helping them get set up with the software, teaching people how to leverage this technology, because that's really what we're sharing with you guys here. It's a technology, and it's a technology that we want to show you literally in real time what it's capable of. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually in my screen share right now. So I'm going to stop my screen share, and then I'm going to see if Cam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
What is good, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, man. But the group can't see you.
There we go.
4 people want to see
How's everyone doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. So yeah, I'd love to dive into the product real quick. Let me share my screen. Here we go. So what we have here is we run this on a VPS. That's a virtual private server. It basically allows us to run Benjamin 5 days a week, 24 hours a day during that 5 days. Now, think of it as like running on the cloud. So you don't have to leave your computer open all day long. You don't have to constantly be making sure your computer's not falling asleep. You're able to run this on the cloud, and you can actually check your trades from your phone. So it's really, really cool. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to run a back test for you. This is basically a test that takes historical data that's already happened in the marketplace, and we're going to run our Benjamin software alongside of it. So we're going to see, kind of give you a rough estimate as to what you could have achieved having had ran it during this time period. So I'm going to go from 2018, I'm going to go from February 1st to May 31st, 2018. Okay, guys, I'm going to get this started. It's going to take a couple minutes. Now, while we wait for this to start to take off, as you can see, we're going to be running it on the Euro USD pair. So we're only running it on one pair. When you do a test, you can only run one at a time. And Benjamin, just so you guys know, and we'll touch upon this later, runs on 7 different pairs. So we're running this on a $5,000, obviously a demo account. And we're going to see in the next couple minutes, we're going to check back in on this. We're going to see how it works. I'll kind of dive into the trades for you guys to better understand exactly what happens and how this thing is going to work for you, and just kind of dive into the algorithm a little bit behind the software so you can see and know what to expect when you start running the software. So I'm going to come back over here to Trader's Way. And Derek, I would like to show a few results. Would you like to keep going and then come back to me, and then I can go into the back test, and then we can go from there?
Yes. Why don't we do this? Why don't I keep saying what's going on, and then what we'll do is when the back test is ready, you just interrupt me, totally fine, and go, yo, D, back test is ready. Let's show them what's going on. And we'll circle back and we'll give you guys a little bit more in-depth understanding of what actually happens with the technology, right? So let's circle back to the story that I was telling, okay? So, I'm sitting down with Dave. He's talking about this whole concept and this idea of what he had. And at the time, I thought, well, okay, this whole concept makes sense, but is this thing illegal? Like, are we actually able to do something like this? And he's like, well, if I was asking you to give all of your money to me and, give you financial advice and, teach you all this stuff with the software, like, yeah, that probably wouldn't be okay. But I'm not doing that. The truth of the matter is you're in a position where you could just literally, with our software and our technology, license it, set it up yourself, let it work, and then you control your own capital, you control your own results. And obviously, past results are never indicative of future results, and past performance doesn't, create future performance. And also, we're not gonna sit here and guarantee anything. But let me tell you this: we were fortunate enough to learn about this in July. So in July, we decided, okay, well, if this is working really well, we might as well just, see what can happen if we had some people get involved in it. So that was in July. And before I share with you what the results were, you may be asking, who's this actually for, okay? This is for people that may already have understanding with trading and they want to actually trade in the markets, but it's also for people like myself that don't have that much of an interest to learn how to trade, but want to be able to take advantage of this space and of the markets and Forex. And it's also for people that just know absolutely nothing about anything related to Forex. Whenever they hear it, think, I'm not smart enough to do that. It's way too confusing, and I want to just totally step away from it because it scares me. Because honestly, I was kind of like that too. So we had a massive collection of people from all those different backgrounds start trying the software. And when we started, from about July to November, we didn't go do webinars like this. We didn't go share it with a ton of people. We shared it with just a few of us. Because the last thing that we wanted to do, obviously, because we have such a mission of just helping people do what they love full time, is, share people with people technology that we didn't have experience with, that we weren't using ourselves, that we didn't have results for, and then, we get it set up, and then in 2 days it doesn't work, right? We didn't want to take that risk on for other people, but we did have a collection of people that we have great relationships with that are willing to try something out for, maybe a month and see if it works or not. So myself, Cameron, Mike, some other people in my group of friends that have been in business prior got involved in July and just started learning the technology, started using technology. And what started happening blew our minds. It was literally undeniable proof. And it just started coming and coming and coming over and over and over again through social media, through Facebook posts. It just started happening everywhere. So we just started seeing all these people getting in positions where they were getting amazing results from the software. Now you're looking at these social media posts, right? And you think, okay, yeah, that's cool. But I mean, Derek, you literally just showed us like 7 posts. But here's the thing. I want you guys, if you're not in it already, to go to Market Hackers on Facebook. It's our Facebook group. We had this Facebook group up with like our 20 main leaders from July to November. And then in November, we decided to launch to the public because we had months and months and months of results working. And we figured, let's let people know. So in November, it was November 8th, we started releasing this to the public. In that amount of time, we've legitimately had 8,000 people, 7,708 people join this Facebook group. So we're at nearly 8,000 people in less than 90 days. Now, when you go to this Facebook group, you could watch this quick 2-minute video that gives a similar synopsis with the software. And all you really need to do is just scroll through the newsfeed of this Facebook group, and it is filled with people getting amazing results that are winning, that are actually seeing a platform that's allowing them to have a vehicle that can take them from a current place that maybe has them with anxiety and stress and frustration to a position where they actually can have a little bit of wiggle room and some freedom in their life and start doing more of what they love. Now, Cam, I told you to keep me accountable and interrupt me when it's ready.
We're locked and loaded.
You're ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to stop.
All right,
everyone. Go ahead.
Let me screen share real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do this. And can I get a 111 in the chat box if you guys can see my screen right now? A 111 in the chat box.
You're getting a lot of ones, Cam. Everyone sees it. You're in the clear.
Okay, perfect. So what I want you guys to focus on here is it's not about the wins, it's about the losses. okay? And I want to dive into the losses. And the reason I bring that up is because there's a statistic out there that they say 95% of traders who go try and trade in the market end up not turning a profit. And on top of that, they actually say that even if you're 70%, 80%, or 90% at a 70, 80, or 90% win rate, you still oftentimes are not turning a profit. And the reason is because that 30% loss rate, that 20%, or that 10% loss rate can wipe out either all your profits or actually wipe out your entire account. For myself, this has happened to me a couple times when I was learning how to trade. And that's actually what happened also to just about any trader that gets into the market. So I want to talk about these losses. So as you guys can see, that the balance started at 5,000. If you guys can pull out your cell phone, okay, pull out your cell phone. We ran this back test for 4 months. Pull out your cell phone real quick and go to your calculator. Let me know if you put a 1 in the chat box if you guys have your calculator out. Derek, can you please let me know because I cannot see the chat box.
Oh, people got their phones.
People got their calculator out. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, I want to show you guys the percentage that was won here. So take 373 divided by 5,000. So in 4 months on this one pair Euro USD, what you basically did was you did 7.4% in 4 months. Now, what I want you guys to do is divide that by 4. So you did about 1.8% on this pair. So just that alone in a month, 1.8%. If you were just to run this, you could potentially do 1.8% a month. Now, if you were to do that for 12 months, that's 22% on one pair. And if you guys know anything about investing, mutual funds, index funds, stocks, you guys will know that doing 22% in the market is bonkers. That's an unbelievable year. But here's the thing. We run this on 7 different pairs. So what I want you guys to do is multiply that 1.8 by 7. So roughly, if you were to do this during this month, this time period, you would be doing roughly about 12% a month. Now, past results are not indicative of future gains, but if you guys are checking out our Facebook group, you're going to see real life people doing 5, 8, 10%. So now I want to actually dive into some of the trades and some of the wins and losses. So let's check this out real quick.
Cam, I want you to also emphasize for everyone here, a lot of you may see this and go, okay, it looks like it's making money, it's winning, but for those of you that understand Forex, and if you don't, I'll kind of help you a little bit. It's not about how much the software wins. You could be winning all week, but if you take one loss, that's a really bad loss. That's what you don't want to have happen. So the whole concept of market hackers and this technology and everything, it's not about winning and making a ton of money. These percents he talks about, they sound like really exciting percents, but it's actually about preserving and saving your capital and making sure that you're in a position where there's the least amount of risk as possible in a very normally risky market. So go ahead, Cam.
100%. And that's exactly what we want to dive in. I want to show you guys. So right here, so those were all wins. Right here, I want to show you guys a quote unquote loss. So this is what happened right here. On March 22nd, it took a loss. It jumped into this Euro USD buy. Okay, it jumped in here at it doesn't say when it did, but the most important thing is that it lost. Now, at the exact same time, it cost averaged, jumped into another position, and it ended up winning $51. So it canceled out its trade. What Benjamin's algorithm and AI technology does is anytime the market looks like it's going to reverse, and then it does, it jumps in at a perfect split-second timing so that it can then cancel out the trade. Let's see if we can find another one. Okay, here's a great one. So right here, not every time it gets completely broken even. Sometimes you actually win money. Sometimes it gets really close. So in this case right here, it got in, lost $120. Now jumped in again, ended up losing this cost average, ended up losing $20. So instead of losing right here $140, it jumped in and ended up getting out of the trade at the exact same time at 5:23.59. And it ended up winning $112. So it pretty much cost averaged and got itself close to breaking even on this trade. Like I said, some trades, it completely breaks even. Some trades, it actually makes you a little bit of money. But what the point is we don't take straight up losses in the market. So I'm going to go down and try to find one more. Let's see if we can find one more here. Here we go. Okay, so here's another one. So it, again, Euro USD jumped in right here, and this is the most important thing, is the how this thing cost averages. The AI technology at the exact same second gets you out of the trade here. So it jumped in, trade went negative, jumped in again to try to cost average. That one didn't go well, and then boom, it came in and then got out at the exact same second. $111 was the first loss, $12 was the second, and then a positive gain of $125. So this is really what I want you guys to take a look at. Please take the time when you get a chance, go check out our Facebook page, because you're going to see tons of people that are showing off these hedges. That's actually the thing that we're the most proud about with this software. So Derek, I want you to kind of take over from here, but I think we've covered just about the kind of the guts to how and why this is working.
Absolutely, Cam, amazing job, brother. I really appreciate what you did right there, showing people what actually has happened in real time. It's really going to benefit people a lot. And I want to add something. Now, I know a lot of you right now are probably starting to think in your head, what can I do with this? Right? You're starting to see the potential that is capable with something this powerful. But I want you to understand, before you start running off telling everyone you know about this, the responsibility a technology like this has with the users. You see, something like this that's as unbelievable as it sounds, it means you don't go to people and say, I can guarantee you're going to make money. We have an ATM where you're going to print cash when using this. You know, you can make double your money in a day. That's not what this is. The concept is actually a lot different. See, at the start of this entire concept, we came up with an idea that if we could just set this thing up, have the responsibility to watch it work in the markets and understand it's our own capital, but let it do its thing, let the AI work, and if we let it run on the first of the year for an entire year, even if there's some losses through that year period, even though we've seen mainly just wins, and at the end of the year there's more wins than losses, that's worth sharing with people. That's worth sharing over the rooftops to people, right? Because it allows people to have a vehicle that can help them. So I want you guys to understand, this community, Market Hackers, is not about a community of people that are going, here's how we can guarantee you're going to make money. That's not it. It's not, here's how you can create amazing profits overnight. That's not it either. It's a community of people that understand a really important thing. Everyone here knows about compound interest. The problem is people hear about compound interest and they just go, oh, I know about compound interest. Einstein's eighth wonder of the world. Take a penny, multiply it every day for 30 days. It's $5 million. I know that. Here's my question. Is compound interest right now working for you, or is it working against you? Credit card debt, student loans, mortgages, right? It's all over the place. High interest payments. Compound interest is everywhere. So our mission with Market Hackers is to curate a community of people that want to let compound interest work for them and not against them. It's to help the everyday person make the transition to do what they love on a full-time basis rather than a part-time basis. I want you to really look at the last part of that sentence. Life is meant to be on your terms. Now, everyone here has different passions that they do and that they love and that motivate them. Our goal is just to make sure you can do whatever that is in your life full-time and not part-time. Because if it's part-time, that means there's another amount of your time that you're probably spent not doing what you like. And one person that really pioneered this concept is a man named Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you know Robert Kiyosaki and what he's done, in the chat box, just write GO. Give me a GOT for a greatest of all time, because Robert is amazing. Because he realized that most people were not taught about wealth management. And there's this sector here, and this is tying back to what Market Hackers is all about. And you see here, there's the employee, the self-employed, the business owner, and the investor. Now, most people are employed, right? Really, it's like 95% of the world, right? They have no leverage because the only way they get paid is by showing up. So their time is directly equated to money. Now, a lot of you are aware of this, probably are hip to this, you understand that concept, and you know that if you are working a job that you love, that's great. But if you're working a job that you don't love, if you're working a job that you don't enjoy, and at the end of the month, you pretty much have a little bit more month than you do money, you've got to figure out a way to also do something to capitalize so you can get out of that space. Then you have the self-employed. They're self-employed, right? They also really are just trading their time for money, because even though they're self-employed, they have absolutely no leverage. And the amount of active work that they do still determines their income. And that also is that 95%. We want to move you guys over to the right side of that sector, the BNI. So first is business owners, which you have the opportunity in this if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. But people that use leverage where their income is not dependent on their own active work, because they leverage other people like Dave and his technology. And then you have the investor, who takes the income that they make from leveraging other people in their business and put it into even more investments. So then the income does not even depend on your work, and your money literally works for you. So the whole mission of Market Hackers is to leverage this artificial intelligence for people so they can start working towards moving themselves to the right side of that quadrant. Maybe this software won't be the sole factor that you move, but if it even helps you move to that right side of the quadrant, then we're doing our job. So let's talk about you. How do we make Benjamin start working for you? And it's actually really easy. The first step, all you have to do is get a VPS. See, VPS is a virtual private server. It basically allows you to have a computer within your computer. Kind of trippy, right? So what a VPS is, actually, I'll show you guys mine just to give you an example of what a VPS actually can do. So with a VPS, you open up in your applications this app called Microsoft Remote Desktop. And when I click that, it's going to load really quick. And then I double click it. And now my VPS is loading. And within my computer, boom, I'm actually in another computer within my computer. See this? So this is my virtual private server. The reason why you get a virtual private server is because the speed in this server is freakishly fast. Freakishly fast. I'm talking 400ths of a millisecond fast. So what we do, sorry, wrong video. What we do is we put ourselves in a position where, wait, hold on, where is my video? I don't even know where this is. Hold on. Let's see. Where are my slides, everybody? Oh, got my slides. Slides are here. All right, and we are back right now. Okay, so what we do is we leverage this VPS, this virtual private server, to have the software running within it. That way, the software can take high-frequency trades very, very quickly. The second thing that you then do once you get your VPS is you open up a Forex broker account. You can fund it with money in your bank account. You can fund it with cryptocurrency. You can fund it however you want. Here's a couple options, but there's tons of options. We're just showing a few, but there's many different options you can use, and you get your broker account. Essentially, a broker account is like a bank account, only allows that money to be traded in the Forex markets. Once you get your Forex broker set up, you then would just fund that broker account with real money, or if you don't want to take the risk, you can just use demo money, use play money to test it out. Then you would download and install Benjamin to the MetaTrader application, which is basically your broker application. And once you set it up, we have the pairs that's worked great for us that you can use. You can just reinvent the wheel and create your own stuff if you want to. We don't recommend it, but you can. And you just set it up. You download the app on your phone so you can track it. You can close out trades on your own if you want to. You can add in trades. It's your own technology. I mean, it's our technology, but it's for you to use. You can do whatever you want with it. It's your responsibility. You're just licensing it. And then our hopes, right? Results, 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 because that's what's been happening for us time and time again. I cannot emphasize enough how unique this opportunity is. And I know you hear that a lot in this space, and you hear that from time to time, but I promise you when I say this is something that we've watched people have massive changes in their financial lives because of it. So let's talk about what the value is from this whole thing. You're getting a VIP Telegram update chat that you can be in that lets you know when every week you want to adjust your settings and what's happening in the markets. Now, Dave does an amazing thing where when there's market volatility or like the NFP or crazy things happening, he just has a master switch that turns off the software so people don't use it when it's not in volatile times of the market, right? Because news can be crazy and sometimes it's not very periodic, and you want to be able to know that you're in good hands. And because you have a trader that's really good at scanning the markets, that's been in the space for 21 years, having those updates and him letting you know, hey, just so you know, your software's not on right now, it'll be on tomorrow, kind of gives you that peace of mind knowing that your capital is in a good spot leveraging the technology. The second thing you get is these Saturday software tech calls where every Saturday Dave hops on and he talks about the software and the technology and what's going on in the markets the next week, with how the software is going to accompany the markets. You get the actual software itself, the algorithmic software to use, and then you get our community. You get the Market Hackers exclusive community Facebook group, and you're able to capitalize on a community of people just like you that want to make the transition to do more of what they love. They want to transition to find themselves in a place where they can actually enjoy every single day doing what they love full time, not on a part-time basis. And to be able to leverage this type of technology, literally, it's only $199 one time, and then after your first month, just $145 a month to maintain. So just to get you to understand, this is completely optional, right? If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you hate the person that got you on this call, which probably is your friend or someone that cares about you, and you hate the idea of making money, this really is not for you anyway. Now, if you're sitting there and you're going, $145 a month, I don't even know if I can afford that. Well, I have a question for you. After listening to this webinar that we did, do you think there might be some people that if they listen to this webinar too, may be interested in getting this technology? Well, if you refer 3 people to also use this software, we have a mini rewards program that allows you to get this software for free. So essentially, if you can have 3 people get the software, the company will pay you enough money that covers that $145. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's think about what to do now to follow back. The action steps. Someone invited you on this call. Someone said, hey, get on here. Message them on Facebook, text them, DM them, get back in touch with whoever that person is, and just get involved. Get the $199 software set up. The entire process of setting up the software is very simple. We have a video series that walks you through every single step. If you don't want to do it, you can actually have one of our reps do it for a very cheap cost. They'll set you up entirely on their own. And then once it's all set up, you can have it all rocking, get it with your broker, and then just get results. And as you get results, and once you start seeing results, we hope you share it with other people too and keep spreading some good in the world. So everybody, I want to thank you so much. We're going to see you in the Facebook groups. I appreciate all of you guys for getting on this call tonight. So once again, get back in touch with the person that shared this with you, that showed it to you, and we will see you guys very, very, very soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that presentation. I know it was a bit long, so I appreciate you sticking around to watch it till the end. As with anything I promote, it first has to go through my strict due diligence and vetting process before I share it with my subscribers and clients. And just so you know, I've got my own skin in the game with my own live accounts being traded, and I wouldn't recommend this software unless I was happy with the results, which I definitely am. I mean, for $145 a month, it's a no-brainer. So if you want something that can truly give you more freedom in your life, then click the button below and get started. And if you have any questions, just pick up the phone and give me a call. My number's right below this video. I'm a busy guy, but I'm always accessible to you. So if you don't get me on the first try, just leave me a message and I will call you back as soon as I can. You can also message me on Facebook and I promise to get back to you because I truly want to help you succeed with something that's real. So with that being said, thanks for watching and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care.